What's good? It's your boy Kev, and we about to get into some woke shit today. Today, we're talking about black men and misandry. Before I begin, just want y'all to see Bella. That's the dog. She says hi. Yeah, you say hi. So, anyway, black men and misandry. Since this is my first themed video, like I alluded to previously, while my content is for everyone, and there are definitely elements of this conversation that can apply to people of any race, I'm speaking specifically to the black community. I'm speaking, for as a black man and to black folks. So that's to be clear. So if I just, at some point say women or men, I'm thinking in my head black folk, because that's who I'm mostly around, that's who I identify with, and that's who I can speak the most on accurately. So that said, basic definition of misandry, I googled that shit. They say that it is a noun. It's a noun, which is what is that? Person, place, or thing? I don't know. I don't remember. But it's dislike of, contempt for, or ingrained prejudice against men, i.e., the male sex. So what does that mean? In practice, I think most black men will mostly encounter misandry online. You can see, we've all seen certain threads. We all know certain people. I know I'm friends with quite a few misandrists in real life and online. But you've seen the threads, you've seen the comments. I think I'll say this is the first major point I wanted to make. There's definitely a difference between feminism or womanism and misandry. Every misandrist, which is someone who practices misandry, isn't a feminist or womanist, and every feminist womanist isn't a misandrist. That's important to mention because, one of the first, it's a classic response to a woman that's checking you on some shit. It's like, oh, you feminists be tripping. You let feminism do X, Y, and Z. While that might be accurate in some conversations, and a lot of them it's not. So I like to mention that. We'll definitely get into feminism and womanism. That video will be a lot more structured because that's a very rich topic in terms of writing from women and from black women. So I would want to mostly tell you what they have said about it and what I've learned. So anyway, back to misandry. Like I said, you'll mostly deal with it online, although you might see it at the block, on the block. If you're around some friends, some of them are women, or you're just around women in general, you're going to hear certain things that are like anti-men. I will be flat out real and say that, I've heard some things from some misandrists that I would consider toxic. There's things that some women have said that have made me block them or unfriend them. I personally don't like I can't wait till the cops shoot you niggas down comments. Even though there are some dudes that I would do that myself for, abusive niggas and, people that like really take advantage of women and non-men, the harmful niggas. Yeah, them, I'm all for it. But I think that, a lot of the statements of that realm can be used a little too casually online. And yeah, even though I'm like the woke nigga and shit, I'm not gonna pretend like it doesn't bother me, like it's not offensive sometimes. I'll give you one more example. Stephen Clark, if you remember his murder, afterwards, a lot of his tweets came out, and we learned essentially what he stood for when he was alive. He was a young man when he was murdered, but he said a lot of things that were harmful to black women, and a lot of those sisters was like, I'm not finna march for him, I'm not fighting for him, like that's y'all. If y'all want to do that, that's y'all. And to a further extent, I've seen in just general situations involving police brutality or injustice, a lot of women feel like, yo, I'm not fighting for these niggas because they en masse wouldn't fight for me. I'm fighting for children, other women, you know, non-men, you know, trans, non-binary folks, etc. So, yeah, now that I've gotten the first part of this out the way, explaining what misandry is, you know, I don't think I have to. If you're on this video, chances are, and you're, you know, and you're old enough to have been on social media for more than a couple weeks, and you run in black spaces, you run into the term or situations that could be described as misandrous spaces. You know, sometimes as a man, there's certain places, mostly online, and I'll get to that later, that you just can't go comfortably. Like there's certain threads you just can't run on making jokes because you're gonna get hit by like 5 motherfuckers like, yo, we tagging you and we bringing that bullshit to your door. You know what I'm saying? We are telling you how trash you and your ginger are. So, you know, it's a thing. It is a thing. So I have some bullet points here, and I'll just start running through them. So the first thing, this is to black men, because the topic of misandry, and you know, in general, you can just say disdain for black men online. It can be a lot. It can, especially if you're having a bad day, or you might have been done wrong by a woman recently, and you know, you're going online, you're seeing men are trash, and you're thinking like, yo, but this motherfucking woman right here was fucking trash too, you know. First thing I'll say though is we gotta understand the root issues at the heart of misandry and respect how serious they are. You know, I don't have stats here. I can probably put some in the description, but there's if you're a black man and you have ever lived in any black community, I shouldn't have to go pull the numbers. You know what I mean? We really shouldn't have to go pull the numbers. You've heard rap music. You know what I'm saying? I love hip hop to death. It's obviously half my channel, but we know how motherfuckers talk about women in rap. I think one day I might do I do these on my Facebook, like trash line compilations. You know, beautiful black women. I bet that bitch look better red. Fucking, you know, fucking. I listen to a lot of Future. I can't think of one specific line right now, man. You know, I left that bitch sitting in the cold because she wasn't touching her toes. Like, you really left her sitting in the cold, Future? Like, that's really how you did her? So hip hop is just the perfect example. This is being recorded like a week after the X and Snoop versus battle, and you know, bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. Lick on the nuts and suck the dick. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how our most popular art form in the black community for the past 40 plus years has spoken to our women. You know what I mean? And then again, if you've ever been around black folk, especially if you live in a black community, especially if you lived in an impoverished black community, if you've ever lived in the hood, I mean, come on, you know, we know physical abuse and domestic violence is real as fuck. We know that black women are murdered, you know, way too much. Our children, black children, are murdered as well. We know that black trans women are murdered at a rate that is just way too crazy. For the small percentage of the population that they are, the amount of murders of black trans women specifically, and then trans women as a whole, is astronomical. It's ridiculous, and that's on us as men. One thing I will say is that a sister told me one time, why aren't more men misandrous? Like y'all niggas be fighting each other, stabbing each other, fucking each other's wives, you know what I'm saying, robbing each other. Y'all roast the fuck out of each other mercilessly since you're kids. Why aren't more men like, yeah, these niggas ain't shit? Like, you know, at first it's like I'm a man too, what do you mean? But it hit me. I get it, you know what I'm saying? Like I've been stabbed twice by black men. No, Bella, no. I've been stabbed twice by black men. I've been jumped a couple times, been beat up, robbed, had a gun pulled on me twice, you know what I'm saying? All by brothers. I've swung on dudes, you know what I'm saying? I've cheated on black women. Proud to say I've never like physically harmed a black woman, but black men, I've fucked a couple of us up. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up. So yeah, man, that's the first point, man. Like we really, you gotta understand that that pain is real. And while I hesitate in some cases, a lot of the time, to compare black struggles with gendered struggles because they're not the same in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways they are. And as hard as us as black people, if you're a black dude, and especially if you consider yourself any sort of woke, and you ever in any way call out white people, you know, either personally or systemically, for racism, the same level of unapologetic fervor you have going at that system is the same fervor that they have going at the system that oppresses them. One of the systems that oppress them. And that could either be, you know, again, black trans women, black non-binary people, some gay black men that would fit into that category as well, because we do hella damage to them too. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, again, really understand the root issues. And on a more deep level, when it comes to that, and you see those posts, like really think about the root issue that they're talking about, you know. Sometimes, and this is something that I'll kind of get into at the end, sometimes that particular post might not have any valid information for you. There's some times where a sister is going off, she might be wrong. I've seen sisters just try to make something that men do trash. It's not really trash. It might be just not her preference. And she might, you know, use that as her reason at that moment for why niggas ain't shit. And she just might be wrong. So you might not be able to learn anything from that post. And that kind of leads to my second point here, which is do not engage if you can't read the room. And that's for two reasons: for the sake of not stressing these sisters out, and for the sake of not stressing yourself out. Now, let me be clear, because I think there's definitely a difference between not engaging because you don't have anything to offer. Maybe you don't feel like dealing with it. Maybe you don't care at that moment, or you might not care at all. I say just really leave them sisters alone. Like half of the shit that, not half, because there's a large percentage of the shit that's like physical and real. But a large percentage of the shit that black women and black non-men, I try to make myself say non-men instead of just black women, because I know that we're all learning. But anyway, shit, a lot of this shit can be avoided by niggas just shutting the fuck up. Just post, you know what I'm saying? Post a meme about something else. Post a joke about something else. Like, just leave oppressed people alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, just leave them the fuck alone. Like, they're the same color as us. You know what I mean? Like, why the fuck you going at them online? Like, why? There's niggas that wake up every day just to antagonize black women. This Talib Kweli shit's going on. You real ashy, bruh. You real ashy. Like, it's been like over a week, and you're like really like harassing this like 20-some-year-old black woman. It's been like a week, bruh. Let that shit go. You know what I'm saying? I really wish a lot of times we would just, as much as I would rather us listen and really try to have honest conversations despite the anger, and I would love us to work through the anger and like really get to have, honestly, a lot of niggas ain't gonna do that, and I just wish that we could just make it a thing like, yo, leave these motherfuckers alone sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, just leave. That's online and in real life. Just leave motherfuckers alone. Another way that I look at that is for your own mental health. You know, why jump in a post just to get dragged for an hour? They're not going to stop tagging you until they're done with you. You know what I'm saying? They're going to leak onto your other posts. That's just not fun for you. I mean, I guess if you're on some edgelord shit, if you're on some like 50 shit, you know, and you live for that, I guess that's your dopamine rush for the day. I might not be able to help you, bro, but you know, empathy for them, and then also for yourself. You know, just if you don't think it's gonna play well in the room, let that shit go sometime. I don't always do that. You know what I'm saying? There's posts where I think I'm helping or agreeing, and then it's like, oh yeah, nah, I should have just like stayed in my lane. Stay in your fucking lane. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like a large percentage of the battle. Just stay in your lane, bro. My third out of 4 bullet points is don't judge the message by the messenger. I did address, because the niggas would be like, man, sometimes these hoes don't be saying shit. Yeah, sometimes they don't. Sometimes she's snapping for no reason, or she's snapping for a reason that's not really as, as bad as it's being perceived or presented. But a larger, and I would wager most of the time, there is a message there. If she's saying, I ain't marching for you niggas, and I hope the cops shoot y'all because y'all wouldn't do the same for us, like, try to get at that y'all wouldn't do the same for us. And you could say, well, hey, there's plenty of men that protest. There's hella men that organize. Yeah, of course. But what's the perception? You know what I mean? And you really got to get outside of your bubble sometime and just say, even if you don't fully agree, just understand that that's a perspective that exists. And do your best to respect it. Because again, it's like our women, our people, black folk. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's things that, just one specific issue that I do not agree with, like the mainstream feminist thought on, relates to hip hop, and I'll do a video about it one day. And I'll take my dragging like a man, because they're wrong on that one. But I've learned that, hey, if I can like get my shit off on that topic without, with causing as little offense as possible, I'll do that shit. However, I'm not trying to hurt black non-men's feelings just on a baseline level. I'm just not trying to be an asshole. There's niggas that like being the asshole again, and it's harder to reach them dudes, but you would hope that like, yo, I like at least sometime leave these women alone. You know what I'm saying? At least sometime. But anyway, my last point here is that, and it's kind of a real major point for me, is that understand that misandry is no serious threat to your life. It's not. Like, you as a man, in most situations, I know, again, abusive men happens sometimes from women. That's very real and should be taken seriously. Part of the reason it's not is because of men not taking their brother seriously when they hear about those things and making jokes out of them. That's a whole nother story. But you're not going to be walking down the street and have a group of misandrous women be like, hey, little daddy with the gray sweats, come here, man. Like, try to grab on you, try to, you know what I mean? Like, I've seen the Hebrew Israelites like accost niggas on the street, like, yo, you like with the bullhorn, like in your face, like, you know what I mean? That shit's not happening, bro. It's just not happening. Like, if it's just not. Partially because those women, when we're looking at the root issue of why they're so angry, and I say angry in the context of their opinions, not angry like inherently like the angry black woman trope, but sometimes sisters is angry. The reason that they're not in the street accosting niggas is because of the very real fear that they will be physically abused. If women really en masse started like getting in the streets with the bullhorns on some like, you know what I mean, Hebrew Israelite like bean pie type shit, then a lot of them would be assaulted. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them would be assaulted. And worse. Let's be real. And that's the irony of, So try to remember that. I try to remember that. Because sometimes I don't remember that. But, at the end of the day, again, your life will be fine as a man. Women expressing their pain and talking to each other about these things in a way that, reaches them in a serious way, that's not hurting you at all. There might be a situation where you might make an innocent post. Like, I remember I posted when Girl Dad was trending. I posted something about girl dad with my I call my daughter. She's my stepdaughter, but she's mine. Kids are mine. They're adopted. They mine. But I posted something with my daughter on IG, and like a woman made a comment. I got so fucking mad. Like, yo, I'm not no deadbeat though. So like, I'm not like doing this for clout. Like, I do this shit every day. Like, I'm, I am a stepdad. Like, I could have, like, I don't have any kids of my own by blood. So I am not that deadbeat you speak of. So why are you mentioning like, oh, you deadbeat niggas always doing this shit for clout? Because I was on the hashtag, and I think this particular sister was just like hitting every pick. I just deleted the comment. I did not engage. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna argue. Just deleted the comment and blocked her. But I was mad. And that was an example of misandry creeping into my life when I specifically didn't do anything wrong and didn't ask for it, right? So, yeah, that's probably happened to you before. That said, it was one post, one comment, and it was what it was. And obviously I'm mentioning it like a year later, so you could say, oh, well, obviously you're hurt. Yeah, like, this shit really annoyed me. But again, I'm annoyed. She is dealing with trauma. There's too many black women raising kids alone or with not enough help. Or if they're getting help from men that are, dangling it like a carrot and making her like work to get him to freaking be there for his own kid. You know what I mean? So think about the pain she's dealing with. And even if I can't get on the level with her where I'm like agreeing and like going to other niggas' posts, like whatever nigga, like let me look at your old pics and see if like you be with your kid and like so I can call you. Even if I'm not gonna do that, I'm gonna try not to just antagonize sis. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, I really wanted to open this conversation up. This comment section is risky on this topic. So, definitely come prepared. Come prepared to show some respect for, again, the root issues that cause misandry. And, share your experiences. Tell me how you feel. There's one thing I actually want to address before I get out of here, man. It's kind of to the misandrist. And then it's kind of for us as well. I will say that men are not required to gain our understanding of these issues or learn from misandrists. I personally, there's plenty of, and see, that's the thing, right? If you're a man that's like, really like, yo, I want to learn more about feminism. I want to learn more about why women are saying protect black women. Why are they saying this? Why are they saying men are trash? Why are black trans women saying that, we're just inherently harmful to them? Like, what's going on? I want to learn, right? There are hella spaces where black non-men have been hella nice and sweet and informative and super calm. You know what I mean? So if you want to get that info, you can definitely get it from a place where they ain't gonna cuss at you. You know what I'm saying? So that exists. My daughter just came home. Hey, don't.
Hey, my ass, why you gonna cook dinner?
I'm doing a video. Anyway, we might have to order something. I don't know. But anyway, jeez. So, where was I? Yeah. There are plenty of spaces. Like, black non-men have been super nice for mad long. Like, if you believe the angry black women, like black women have too much attitude trope, then I feel sorry for you. Like, I don't know what the fuck you're seeing. Like, most black women are cool as fuck. With me. To me. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? But that said, my point with saying that is, I say that to the misandrists to understand, like, yo, there's going to be a time where brothers are not going to get it on your posts. And you don't have to listen to me at all. You probably already ain't listening to me, so fair enough. But, just for the sake of your hope in the future for men, just know that even if he doesn't get it there, because there's places where I was in posts or in circles where I didn't get it at that moment, but I got it later. I wish I could go back in time and tell them sisters like, hey yo, I'm finna get there with you. Like I'm headed there, just like not yet. Don't stress. Or at least stress ever so slightly less. And that's not, she might say, well, until you're there, motherfucker, then I'm still in danger. And that's real, you know what I'm saying? But again, I would just stress to them like, yo, you know, he might be splitting a hair on this post about child support. And that might be annoying. And he is trash. And he does need to learn. However, you know, just understand that he can learn somewhere else. There might be a method of learning about that topic or these topics that might hit him harder. And for men, I would also say, you know, you don't have to learn from someone who's cussing you out. I would rather us ignore certain spaces to not cause harm or just for our own self-preservation, whatever, than to get in there and antagonize women that are dealing with trauma or trying to help other women who are dealing with trauma. Because one thing I actually just heard was that a lot of misandrists, you know, and this is actually a point to mention as well. A lot of misandrists aren't just miserable, like black cat ladies sitting at home because they're like bored and ugly, like niggas say. Like, no, like they be dating, they be doing a thing. They go to clubs and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like she might be doing this to drive the point home to another woman. You know. So anyway, because I think I gotta make dinner. What we eating for dinner?
You steak and potatoes if you couldn't make it.
Is it thawed out? Did we take it out?
Steak been thawed out a long time ago.
Oh,
Took it
okay.
out a long time ago.
Well, I'll go make it right now. All right. Well, on that note, looks like the video is over. I do want to just say, you know, please like and share and comment and all that good YouTube shit. But more importantly, have these conversations with your bros. You know what I'm saying? One thing we do got to do as men is talk to each other more about serious shit and not just goofy shit or the culture. You know what I'm saying? Or racism. We got to talk about what we're doing in the community and how we're addressing these issues. So that said, thank you for your time, and I'll catch you later.